Hi everyone, this is Tasneem for Pinkfresh Studio, and today I'll be sharing 2 cards with you where I'll be adding coloring details and doodling to the stamped images. I'm using the Embroidered Blooms Stamp Set today. This gives a very interesting look after being stamped. Also, it has so many elements that you can make a lot of different looking cards with a variety of floral arrangements. I will stamp a few images from the set, and I won't be using all of them, but I'm stamping some extras in case I need them later on. The colors that I'm using are pink, green, and orange. Once I have stamped all the elements that I need, I will take a slightly darker shade than the ink in a Prismacolor pencil and add a bit of shading to the image. This is just to add a bit of oomph to the images. This step is not necessary. If you don't want to do it, you can completely skip it. The second card that I'll be sharing later will not have any pencil color shading. I will just be adding doodling to it, so you will be able to compare when I'll place them next to each other. For the pencil color shading, I will just add shading to the part of the leaf where it connects to the branch, and for the flowers, it will be closer to the flower center. Even though I'm not adding any detail to my stamped images, it's just shading, but you will definitely see a difference between a plain stamped image and the one that I added shading to. Okay, so now comes the fun part. I love adding my own unique outlines to images that don't have an outline stamp. This is fun and interesting because even if you are doodling your outlines to the same image, it's never going to be 100% same. And if you are aiming for it to be same each time, please don't. You will take the fun out of this technique. And it doesn't have to be perfect even. I mean, you need to loosely follow the stamped image in order to get a more whimsical and unique result. Once done, I'll die cut the images and work on my card front. For this, I'll cut 2 strips and lightly ink them with black soot distress ink to make them slightly gray. I usually add strips behind my floral images to ground them. You can add one wider band to this also because that it really looks good as well. I'm trying to figure out the placement of where everything should go. Like I mentioned earlier, I have no plan and I'm just going with the flow. Once I'll figure out my placement, I'll adhere the images with foam tape. Once everything is in place, I'll stamp the sentiment, and this is from the Heart and Soul stamp set. It has some lovely sentiments. And to add the finishing touch, I'll add very fine black paint splatters. My first card is ready and looks quite pretty. The outline does make a lot of difference and changes the look of the stamp. My next card is even more simpler than the first one. I have a 4 by 5.5 inch panel and I'll stamp the smaller rose type flower from the first card multiple times. I'm actually building a background. You will see I'll miss a bit of stamping as in my stamp didn't properly stamp, so I'll align it and stamp over it. This is not a difficult image to stamp back on. Once all my pink flowers are on there, I'll add tiny orange ones. Again, I have no plan and I'm glad it worked out fine because I went ahead and took the smallest leaf from the set and started stamping it next to the pink roses. And I didn't leave any space for leaves beforehand, so I'm glad I found a tiny enough leaf to add some green to the card front. I will try my best to add the leaves in threes, first 2 in pairs and 1 single. Once this is done, I'll add the outline to the images. Oh, and be sure to stamp a few images off the edge to get a seamless look of a printed background. Do not overthink while adding outlines. Follow the stamped images loosely or draw your own free-flowing outline. It will look good anyway. Just trust me on this. once the panel is done, I'll stamp a sentiment again. This is from the Heart and Soul stamp set. All I've done is cut a tag shaped tab. I'll stamp one of the images in orange, and then I'm going to add an outline to this as well, and then adhere it to the card front with foam tape. And that is it. My second card is ready as well. Now this has its own charm. When you look at both the cards together, you can see the variation, but I like them both ways, with and without pencil shading. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.